Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a while, like a very long time, like 2 years by this point, that you haven't heard from me. In this video I wanted to make something different, something new, I guess experimental. I don't know, if anything, this is probably going to be the last time you hear of me. It's been a rough ride. I remember when I first started back in 2014. Now it's 2022. Ain't that fun? I feel old already. But yeah, I lost the game and, well, now I gotta pay the price. But before I say my goodbyes, I wanted to teach new players how to play a very old game. Something I remember enjoying in the early 2000s. So, let's get straight to it. For what I'm gonna use, it's nothing too out of the ordinary, something many people can probably pick up and understand. Yugi's deck. Again, it's not going to be something complicated, not something people can have to scratch their head over and understand, what am I doing? It's pretty easy and not that hard to understand. So, the way I'm going to teach new players how to play the game is by teaching them to ignore the competitive side. I don't know, I feel like how people usually teach how to play the game is, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do these combos, you gotta kill your opponent in one turn. Or you have to read the card, read this, you gotta understand everything and everything, which you should. I guess now by the standard everything's effects, and yeah, read the card. Don't be like everybody else who thinks that a simulation's gonna do everything for you and you can understand from there. Actually read the card. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna teach you how to actually play. So, how things work is simple. Build your board. Of course, many people remember things differently if you left or you've never seen one. How it used to look a little something more kind of like this, if this thing would like to unfold on. Doesn't look like it does, so here we go. If anybody else remembers this, that's right, no pendulums, no extra deck lines here. Just monsters, field spells, where your deck should be, the graveyard, and the extra zone. So yeah, simple enough. But of course it's all changed, it's very different now. I'm just gonna put this on the side. Now it looks different. Now it looks a little something more like this. Yes, it's from a structure deck. But, yeah. Wow. How odd this is, actually. Wow. For all I know, this thing is probably a little different, but that's a whole different story. We got this. I don't know if you can see the lines on the zones that good, but yeah, extra deck zones, monster zones. The premises has not changed much. It's still the same. type of format. Well, at least the game play, the whole game format is still the same. The actual structure of the format itself is very different from back then. I doubt anybody uses the, what was it again? The beatdown deck. If anybody remembers that. But yeah, enough talking. Let's just get down to everything. So first things first, the deck. We of course have fusions, which goes in the extra deck, and the rest goes here at the very end, right there. But of course I need to show how this thing whole works. So it's pretty simple. Here we have a monster card. Simple enough. Doesn't matter if it's a normal, effect, synchro, pendulum, or link. A monster is a monster. It's the main thing you use to take down your opponent's life points, which is at up to 800. Not 2,000, or I mean 8,000. It's not 2,000, it's not 4,000, no matter how the anime looks at it. Yeah, I bet pretty much everybody back in my time thought that was confusing. But yeah, doesn't matter what it's this, an effect, a pendulum, a synchro, a link, or exceeds. They're all used to take down life points. Think of it like that. This will be your swords. Of course, when it comes to summoning, that's a whole different premise, which I will get to later down the line. Right now, this is just to show you what everything is. But yeah, a monster. Next we have a spell. A thing that will either help you destroy your opponent's board, or just get you something that you need, or help your monsters out. A spell card is just that, a spell card. Something you can use if you can use it, or if it allows you to, depending on the circumstances. Boom, right there, in that very instant. That's what the spell card's for. Next is a trap. Now this is a little different now. Now I think that spell cards are used as traps, or trap cards as spell cards. I think at this point the line has been blurred, or it's been very thinned. But how this works is, if you put it down, no, you cannot use it as a spell card. I made that mistake back when I first began playing the game. But no, you cannot use it as that. You always have to put it down. And when it's your opponent's turn, or I guess whenever you want to use it, after your turn, or after you set it down on the turn, you activate it, and it does whatever it needs to do. Usually those are to destroy boards, at least back in the day, or give your opponent like a handicap. Now, usually there's, like these, there are many variants to this, whether it's a spell, like when it comes to spells, it's a field or a quick play. In other words, something that's there for a good while, that's after you activate it, it's still there, helps your monsters, or helps you like draw cards. Or if it's a quick play, it's used as a trap, easily just activate it when you need to. Or there's this, where it's either like once you activate it, it stays there, and that's pretty much it, whether it stays there or not. Or a continuous trap, as we know it. Now, when it comes to summoning monsters, typically how it works is get either a level 4 or lower. And when I say levels, I mean these, where it looks like, as somebody once put it, Dragon Balls. These are your levels. This is the type, whether it's dark, light, earth, yada yada. This is what type of monster it is, a fiend, dragon. Of course, there's going to be extra stuff, whether it says the effect. Okay, that means if it's an effect, that means okay, this card does something. If not, then it's probably a tuner, and you can use it for synchro. Many variants to this card, but typically when it comes to this, if it's level 4 or lower, you can summon it, and you can only summon once. Of course, there's special summoning where you can summon as many times depending on the situations, where it makes it legitimate to summon one monster, like multiple monsters in one turn. Right now, it's just one. Of course, if it survives, then you can level it up or like sacrifice it to get something stronger. Like say, okay, I have level 4 or lower, or I got one monster, I can exchange it for a level 5 or a level 6 if I can find one. Here it is, a level 6. Yeah, a level 5 or 6, you only need one monster to sacrifice. And these are typically a little stronger than what you probably already summoned, typically. Of course, when you have 2 monsters, you can sacrifice those 2 for something better. Like whether it's Gaia, the Dark Magician, the Blue Eyes. Anything that's a level 7 or higher, you need 2 monsters to sacrifice to get that specific monster. Unless you got the Egyptian God cards, in which case that's 3 sacrifices. But I don't think anybody plays those. At least, I think they still don't do. I don't know, it's been a while. But yeah, that's how you do things. Now that's how you summon. Now, how you win in this game is very simple. There's multiple ways, but the main way that everybody usually does it is if your opponent's life points goes from 8,000 to 0. That is the main way. But, of course, there are other ways, whether it's a card or cards that give certain conditions saying once these are in your hand, in the graveyard, or already on the board, you automatically win. It sounds crazy, it sounds like a tall tale, but yeah, that's how it works, aka the Exodia that you saw me scrambling in the deck. Another way is if your opponent, or I guess you, I guess if you want to win, it's for your opponent to not have any cards in the deck zone. If everything is gone and you can no longer draw, that is another way you can win if your opponent doesn't have any more cards. But yeah, that's simple as that. Of course, there's other ways that things can go. Now say you want to summon some of these. Now with the pendulum, same thing you can do. Normal monster, sacrifice, and all that. Of course, since it's a pendulum, you can also use it as a pendulum. Now what I mean by that is you can either have this down here and have another pendulum like right over here. So that way you can either special summon, activate some effects, which is this novelty of bro text right here, which I think many players don't like. I personally don't like them either, but hey, I went up against someone with a Dynamis deck. We never liked them. It was cool though. And then we have a Synchron. When it comes to a Synchron, you need a tuner monster and I guess a regular monster, whether it's an effect or not, just a non-tuner. How that works is you need a tuner and a non-tuner to add up to as many levels. So say you have let's see, this is a level 6, right? So say you got a level 2 tuner and a level 4 monster, And you can use those two to sacrifice, and boom, synchronous summon. Or a 1 and a 5. As long as the levels add up to this right here. Of course, there could be like more specifications on how to summon. Again, that's where you read the card, but traditionally, you just add up a tuner and regular monsters levels to summon it. And then we have Xyz. How this works is you need 2 of the same levels, or maybe it's special summoning effects. Say, okay, you just need a Xyz monster as a substitute of 2 or 3 monsters that you're looking for, and it could be used as that as its material instead, and it can just overlay. Now, usually when you want to activate its effects, you need to sacrifice its Xyz materials. So yeah, that's how that works. Then we have links. Man, I remember everybody hating this when this first came out. How this works is you look at the link number and the specifications of what it needs. Whether it's 2 monsters, or it needs to be a fire type, a dark type, a dragon, any kind, or maybe it needs 3 more monsters for link 2. And okay, like use all those and link summon over here. Of course, now when it comes to links, you can't just like put them all willy-nilly. You need to like link them up with these arrows. I mean, hey, if you think that's bad, you should have seen how it was when it comes to the extra monsters in general. Like if you need to put a link in the extra monsters right here, whether it's a fusion or not. Which reminds me, fusions. When it comes to fusions, what you need is its specification monsters that it needs. Of course, now it's a little more broad, but back then it used to be very specific, like this one right here, Guy the Fierce Knight and Curse of the Dragon. So, say this right here is what needs to be either in your hand or board, and then this card, if I can find it, has to be in the board or in your hand. Okay, you have that and that. So what you're gonna need, because you can't just summon it like that, which I wish it was like that, but it can't. It's not like that. You need a polymerization to help you out with that. So once you activate this and you have this too in your hands or in the board, you use that to get your big powerful monster out there. Or I guess you can just use any polymerization-esque or fusion spell card to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much how you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Simple as that, short and sweet. Of course, if you want to think of like, okay, I want this deck, okay, what is combos? I want to do combos. Sadly, this is not that video for that. That's where you're going to have to go on your own and branch out and look for it yourself. Do your homework, I guess. But yeah, that's how you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, though, that I'm not going to end it there. Like I said, you're not going to hear from me anymore, so have an extra specialty, of course. I guess a little treat for y'all. Yeah, might as well open these up. So yeah, let's get cracking. And I know some of the people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Are gonna be looking at the cards and going, why haven't you sleeved them? You need to sleeve them. They're gonna get dirty. They're gonna get bent. And you're right, they are. So remember, also you might want to sleeve your cards. Get yourself like a play mat. I don't care if it's this one or like the cardboard ones, whatever works for you. Protection is protection though, so remember that. Look at that. Beautiful. It's shining, it's beautiful. We love it. We like it. And oh, how we missed the Dark Wings. Have we not? don't think we've ever seen them since the 5Ds era back in 2010s. My, that's a lot of cards. I feel like I just bought from a card shop. Don't worry, I didn't though. So yeah, let's open one up. And no, I'm not gonna be doing that whole sniffing the cards. Though some people who play the game will probably be wondering, why don't you sniff them? It's a great smell. And I wouldn't find it that hard to believe if it was. But I'm not that weird. Let's see what we got.
You gotta have to get him in the water.
I ain't jumping in that damn water. You crazy, bro.
No, this guy right here rides and dies by the fish. Yeah, rides or dies by the fish.
Let's see what else we got. Salamander. Ninjutsu. Okay, that's odd. Amazonas Pet. Soul Scissor. Another Bestial. Nice.
There he was. I wasn't walking in that grass though.
What the fuck is going on with my phone, bro?
Cause like, look, I tried
Shit, I
to.
ain't got no internet connection.
Yeah, that's how mine been too, for real.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't be
gonna-
me, man.
Oh,
My
no,
phone was like
mine's
$400.
Huh?
Couldn't be me, and my phone was like $400.
I think it's more of
How
your
you
data.
feel?
Well, mine was for free, so I ain't.
we know. You ain't gotta. You
Hey,
ain't gotta.
don't go into details, cause my boy right here. You know what I'm saying? Not this boy, the other one.
Are you on video right now?
I'm on video right now.
What's up, nigga? Coming live from Cedar Valley College, Lancaster in this bitch, you know me, Devon, got Andrew, Lil
Fucking
Hector,
Andrew,
Juanito,
Lil
you know the cameraman, hold on, let me get the cameraman, bro, bro. Got the nigga Ramon, the West Cowboy Golder, you know what I'm saying, that's what we got going in this bitch, we trying to catch a mermaid, you know what I'm saying, it's a beautiful day, man, it's a beautiful day.
The fucking fish. I
Look at that,
right here.
look at that,
Hey, man.
look at that, filetto in this bitch, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, it's a beautiful day, man. That's right. Peace.
It's that time.
That time?
Yeah.
There you go. Speak of the devil. Blackwing Assault Dragon. Ain't that nice? Alright. The Great Noble Inversion. Nice. Alright, that was one box. Time for the other one. Ooh, Rebellion. Nice. K-Tribe Brigade, Tromans, Gearclaw. This one, Violence. Yeah, I think it's Violence. Awakening, Solo Activision. Kashtira, Fenrir. Cool. Last one. Snowpost, Shade of the God. Alright, that is all the good stuff here. Let's see what we got from all of this. Let's see, Snowpulses, Kashtira, Shamanson, Branded Regain, Blackwing Warstorm, Dynamite Power Load, Branded Beast, Ninjutsu Art Notebook, Terrorist in the Hidden City, Branded Regained, Warstorm, Donner, The Ducks, Mitsu, Branded Beast, Founder of the Drudge Dragons, Chillamans, Rocklos, Rex, Prediction Princess, Tarot Trith, Miralogic, Aggregator, Gothic Fury, Balance, Awakening, Soul Activation, the Bestial Lubillion, Shamal, the Sandstorm, the main card itself, Blackwing Assault Dragon, Kashtira, Shangri, Branded Beast that just fell, Fada the Emblem of Wandering, Chinook the Snowblast, Sornir, Sartori the Phantom Glimmer, Albalos, Sornair, Magnum Wahat, Magnamoot, Druisworm, Simuel Archfiends, Terrorist in the Hidden City, Shamal the Sandstorm, Muckraker from the Underworld, Power Load again, Aggregator, Baki the Beast Ninja, Sprite Double Chaos, Maizen the Battle Ninja, Kashtira Birth, Kashtira Sangria Era, Golem Spear of the Gaudy, and Black Feather Whirlwind. And that is all the ultra rare, secret rares, all that good stuff. Well, that's pretty much it for me. But yeah, it's been a good run. Thank you all again for sticking by me since 2014. I had a good run. I wish I learned my lesson a little sooner, so this won't be the last of me, but hey, not everything as it seems, I guess, but yeah. I'm not ready to say goodbye, but it is what it is. And like that, our journey to this channel has finally gone to a close, right?